Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about feminism, old school versus new school, hypocrites and, two-faced people, stuff like that. See, in my past videos, I never really harped too much on like feminism. Like I never made like a full video about it. But however, I have chimed them in on some of my videos, like The Wilds, part 2. Because even though I love that entire first season, and I mean I love that first season, I feel as though the creator of the show hates men because she went out her way to make men look like monsters on her show, and pretty much every guy on that show is like a monster, except for one. And so, like, and all the females, even though they're flawed, they still made it look like good people and stuff. They had their redeeming arc, which the men don't. So I wasn't even really going to make this video, but I was watching a video on somebody else's YouTube channel. I believe his name is Friendly Space Ninja or something like that. I watch a lot of his videos, and he was talking about Fleabag. Now, I love Fleabag as a show, and so does he. And he told his followers on Instagram he was going to be making a video out of it. And he posted a picture, a screen grab picture of a woman commenting and just ripping him a new one, talking about basically how because he is a straight male, he has no business talking about the show Fleabag and critiquing it because it was a show created by a woman, made by a woman, written by a woman, and all this other stuff, and starring a woman. And because he is a male, he has no business whatsoever, like what I basically just said, like talking about the show. And that she went on and on and on for like a huge paragraph talking about how like it's their show, it's a woman's show, and men are always trying to take everything away from them, and this is theirs, and let them have what's theirs, and blah, 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 and told him to go back to talking about teen dramas and stuff. And I just remember, like, this is normally like, okay, if a person reads a description, I normally don't read it, I just listen. But this one, I actually read along with it, and I could not believe what this woman was saying. People like that get on my nerves so much. They're like, just like these rude, hypocritical people. And at first I thought, okay, maybe it's J.K. Rowling, like, sending him that, and everything. But no, it was just some random woman who I'm gonna assume is an extreme feminist and everything. And who chances are she's probably had some hard, rough times when it came to men. And that's probably why she allegedly hates men and stuff like that. And so it's kind of like this. When it comes to me, I try my extreme best not to interact with nobody because people get on my nerves. Basically, I just can't stand people. I used to in the past. I used to be like a social like butterfly, always hanging out with people, trying to get everybody together. But in my later age in life, I just realized one thing and one thing only. People suck, people are stupid, and people are messy. Well, I guess that's 3 things. And so that's why I try my best just not to interact with too many people and stuff. Like when I go outside and I see my neighbors, I wave, I say hey, but then I try to hurry up and like come back in the house as soon as I can. I don't try to have like no conversation. I don't want to know their business. I don't want them knowing my business. And that's just that. Because people just suck. And stuff. Like people are just stupid because they want to be messy and everything. And people are just extreme hypocrites. And it's like when it comes to that woman who criticized the Friendly Space Ninja dude, it reminded me so much of when the Me Too movement started a few years back. Now, I'm all for the Me Too movement. I think it was a great movement. It exposed a lot of people. If you don't want to get in trouble, just don't do nothing. And women and men also, a lot of people keep forgetting about men. They don't want to be assaulted. They don't want to be harassed. They don't want to be felt up. They don't want to be pressured, none of that stuff. And people shouldn't have to do that to them. And that's what the whole thing was about. It was about people getting exposed and them facing the consequences, and the consequences, of course, getting canceled. And so, and I remember when that happened. I remember there was this one woman comment I read. I don't know who she is. She was just like a random person. She's not famous or nothing like that. And she was just going on and on and on about the things men shouldn't do. She said men should not tell a woman they look pretty. They are not allowed to compliment women. They are not allowed to compliment the outfits they're wearing. They shouldn't be trying to hold women's hand. They shouldn't call them names like sweetie and honey. And then I was with all that. Well, except for the whole critiquing the outfit. I mean, what's wrong with that? Or critiquing how a person look. Saying a person is beautiful or nice, that's a compliment. Just get over yourself. Just get over yourself. But what really struck me was the last thing she said. And that last thing she said was, men should not even look at women. I'm just like, Lord Jesus, have mercy. Like, you can tell she's been through the ringer when it came to men, but I mean, she just went overboard. She is literally one of those He-Man hating women, and I cannot stand those type. Same way I can't stand like the Phantom Menace, who hates like strong women, people of color, and LGBT. But I can't stand a woman who like just a man hater and stuff. And a lot of women sadly have become that. And it's been reflected even in like TV shows and like movies nowadays. And it's just like they think that's all like women empowerment, but it's not. Being like rude and blunt to like a man doesn't make you like a strong woman. Like it just don't. It just makes you look like a terrible person. It actually makes you look weak, to tell you the truth. Because it shows that technically you're just like a little scared, cowardly person, and you're trying to use that I don't know what they call it. Well, I guess you can call it a persona. They're trying to use that that's another phrase. I can't think of it right now. But they're trying to basically just use that to make themselves seem like something they're not. And what they're not is technically a tough, strong person who can whoop on you and stuff. So it's like they do it verbally, still trying to get the message across, but they just come out as being rude and blunt. Now, I'm going slightly off topic. Let me get back to feminism. Now, old school feminism. Centuries and centuries and centuries ago, men basically told women, look, your job is in the kitchen. You cook, you clean, you sew, and you do everything as I say, and if not, I'll smack you around. That's how men were back in the day. And men were wrong for doing that. And, and I get why so many women were pissed at men and why they treat them badly and stuff. But not every man is like that. But the sad thing is that's how a lot of men were raised back in those days. It's just how times were back in those days. We can't hop into a time machine and change it because, that's impossible. So, of course, there's a little thing called World War II. And with that, I mean, feminism has always been around. There's been women, strong women doing certain things like Harriet Tubman. But for now, let's just go to World War II. That's pretty much where it was really booming in. World War II, we got ourselves into a little war. And so men were taken from their jobs, their everyday jobs, and had to join the war. And so the question was, well, who's going to maintain stuff in society? Well, it wasn't going to be little kids, so they had to go to women. And it was at that point in time, women let men know that, hey, look, these things that you said I couldn't do, I'm doing it. And not only am I doing it, but I'm doing it just as good as you. And so that was a big turning point for women during that time. And it happened around a lot of countries, not just America. And then what happened, of course, after that, the men went back to work and the women went back to the kitchen. And women's all like, hey, what's up with this? Like, I just proved my worth and everything. And men's like, ha, 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 ha. You don't have a shillelagh. Get back in the kitchen. And so, like, then, of course, we had the 70s. And women decided, you know what? We had enough of your crap. Scratch your butts and burp all you want. but we're about to roar. And what did they do? They ripped off their bras and they burnt them. And then at some point in time, women were allowed to vote. Finally, in America, women were allowed to vote. And look how long it took. And so, I get why women are pissed off and upset at men. But the thing about feminism is that it's supposed to be about equal opportunity. The fact that, whatever a man can do, I can do too. And I can do it just as good as a man. New age feminism is sadly about a bunch of women who hate men and feel the world will be better off without them. Well, you want to know something? If the world is better off without men, then you do me a huge favor. I want to see you peeing standing up. You can't squat. You can't move your legs around. You got to stand up and you got to pee. And you can't get no pee on your feet, your legs, or your ankle. And not only that, but I want to see you make a baby. Not pop one out your belly and everything, or out your belly, but you know what I'm talking about, your vagina monologue. I want to see you actually create something with some gooey, nasty, like gooey stuff, you know what I'm saying? And create that little fetus and stuff. And when you can do that, then by all means, you can get rid of us and send us to like another planet where we can like live on space stations and stuff. But, without men, there is no starting point creation of life. We have the sperm. It gets in your embryo. That is how you make a baby. Two embryos mushing together ain't gonna make a baby. And let's not forget, you can't pee standing up. So therefore, you're not better than us. Men think we're better than you, but we're not. Okay? No man is better than a woman. No woman is better than a man. We are equal. We are human beings. We are all on the planet Earth. We are all born, for the most part, the same. We have differences here and there, as in personality traits, physical traits, color pigmentation, height differences, ages, stuff like that. But we are all human beings. Period. Nobody on the face of this earth is perfect. Y'all are not perfect. We are not perfect, but we need each other. And this whole going back and forth of bashing just ain't helping. And, and I'm really proud of a lot of women nowadays that are like trying to do things for themselves and better, like, mankind and all the other stuff. But then you always have them sour grape people that always want, or sour lemons, I guess you could say, that just want to like bring stuff down and put a bitter taste in your mouth. And those, of course, are them new feminists, the He-Man women haters. I used to talk to this one dude on YouTube. I think his name was like McCorbin, something like that. And he called them fem Nazis. Because that's literally what they do. They hate men. Like, they literally hate men. And it's just a shame, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I like that woman. I don't get why she told him he's not allowed to critique a show created by a female, all because he's a straight man. That don't mean nothing. Granted, a man will not know 100% what it's like to be a woman and stuff like that, but they can get like a pretty good understanding to the concept of what a show is supposed to be about and how a person's feelings and all this and that work. I mean, my God, look at Tyler Perry. The dude constantly is dressing like a woman and making like all these female movie shows. And you know what I hear? Women, I never watched none of his movies, but women are always saying he understands women. He gets them. Because you know why? He listens to them. He probably hangs out with a lot of them. And he's picking up on their traits and how to like portray that and like media and stuff. And another great example. What was that one Asian movie called? Memoirs. I can't even say that word. There's some words I just can't say. Something of a geisha. Let's put it like that. It's a feminine movie. It's about women. Memoirs of a geisha. There we go. And a lot of people assume that the person who wrote that, what the movies are based off of, they assume this movie was based off a life of like an actual woman who wrote this stuff and all this other crap. No, a man wrote that. And people were shocked. They're all like, how did this man is so in touch with his feminine side? Somehow he is. I guess he observed so much that he would just jot down what he saw and, and what the women were experiencing and stuff. And it's just like, so, and my response to that woman is kind of like, okay, well, are women not allowed to critique male movies or male TV shows? Because plenty of them do on YouTube, you know? And so it's also kind of like, is a straight person not allowed to critique like a gay movie or a show? Or like, are adults just not allowed to watch like kid programs or cartoons and stuff like that? Are they not allowed to critique it? Like, take me, man. I love Sailor Moon. I'm a straight man. So am I not allowed to like watch it or like review it and stuff? You know, I've watched like even like teen stuff like Ackley Bridges and Just Add Magic and The Worst Witch. So what? Because I'm an older like adult and I'm not allowed to like talk about that stuff? And I just don't understand some people. And you know what that woman's gonna say. Oh, well, I'm allowed to critique men and critique their shows because but then it's like, okay, well, why can't a man do it to you? Yes, you're a man. That's why. And it's just like, no, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You are therefore two-faced. And there's so many people in this world that are freaking two-faced. Now, of course, in modern day television and movies, it gets even worse. You are constantly seeing men being bashed by women in television shows and women, not women, women being triumphant over men. And, you know, it's cool to see that every once in a while because, you know, men do it to women all the time in television and movies. You know, how many times have you seen like the dumb assistant that's a female and then the man is just like condescending them and everything. So I'm okay with the reversal of like, say, a woman doing it to a man. But it's been very, very, very constant lately to where it's in nearly every television show and it's in every movie. And I get they want to empower women and stuff like that, but that's going about it the wrong way. Like trying to empower somebody isn't showing that, hey, you're the stupid man and I'm the smart, intelligent woman and I'm a whole lot better than you. That is not equality in any way, shape, or form. All it is just doing the same thing men did to women in television shows, and two wrongs don't make a right. And so I don't understand why they're constantly doing it. And of course, that helps grow the toxic fan base, like the Phantom Menace, into like rallying against them and everything and being like, oh, woke culture is destroying the world and all they doing is making fun of the man and blah, blah, blah. And then so they poison the minds of people. And you see, that's not going nowhere because it is totally backlashing on them. And if they would do it in a better, more like intelligent type way, then people won't be so like irritated by it. Like, you know, Parks and Rec, they did it in a good way by having strong female characters that didn't go around bashing the men. Now, granted, some of the men, most of the men on that show weren't necessarily the best. Actually, to tell you the truth, they really didn't do that great of a job because they had a stupid man, a misogynist man, a wimpy man, a arrogant man. Yeah. See, it's in modern television. That's all the type of men you see nowadays, and women who are like better than them and stuff. And so it's like, you know, whether it's a comedy, a drama, an action show, movie, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's very, very constant in Hollywood today. And like I said before, I get they want to teach somebody a lesson, but they're going about it the wrong way. Because not every man is evil, and they need to stop teaching little girls that all men are evil, and they need to conquer them. And it's all it is teaching little boys that, hey, I'm terrible for just being like the male species and stuff. Then you have some directors that go out their way to really shove like a feminist agenda down people's throat, but it's not a real feminist agenda. It's not the old school kind, it's the new kind where men are monsters and men suck. I mean, just look at Kathy Yang, is that her name? I forget. Who did the Harley Quinn movie. Every man in that movie was either like a wimp, or he was like evil, or he tried to do something really gross and nasty to people and stuff like that. And all the women had to be the ones to kick all those men. But Harley Quinn going to a police station while the police officers are shooting bullets at her, are missing her, but yet she's shooting confetti at people and she's whooping their butt. That don't make no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. None whatsoever. And and Kathy Ann did that purposely to show some form of female empowerment, but all it showed was just lack of understanding the purpose of it. And then of course there's Patty Jenkins in that second Wonder Woman movie. Like, when it came to Cheetah, remember the dude, and I think, what was it, in the park that was like harassing her and stuff, and then she decided to get revenge by like I think, what was it, when she was nerdy he was harassing her, and then when she was hot, God, I forgot what he did to her too, but then it ended up with her just like whooping on him and stuff. And it's just like, that's not showing the message that you need to show somebody. Like, one, violence is not the key. And two, it's like, that dude was just made to look like the everyday misogynistic like male and stuff. It showed that no matter what a woman looked like, he was gonna hit on them and harass them and try to violate them and stuff. And that's literally telling young people that, hey, this is what a man does. He don't care what you look like, he's still gonna try to get himself some. That is not all men. And also, not to mention, women do the same thing themselves, but they think because they're female, they can get away with it. And don't even get me started on Wonder Woman sexually violating that dude. Like, that was just wrong. It was wrong. If it was a man superhero doing that in the movie, people would want, like, there would be no sequel. And Patty Jenkins will be in director's jail, which she has not gone to yet. If it was good enough for the Batman and Robin director, it's good enough for her. And then there's the whole Captain Marvel thing. And like, they really tried to show women empowerment of when you get knocked down, you get back up. And that was great. But there was other little things that kind of like hindered the true meaning of it, mainly the actress and how she is towards men and stuff, and how no man is able to tell her that she should smile and everything like that. Okay, I've had tons of women, older women, younger women, no matter, tell me to smile more, 'cause I just don't smile. Like, what is the point? If I'm not happy, why am I gonna smile for? If I'm doing my everyday thing, why would I smile for? And so I don't get mad at them. I mean, I got a little irritated only because, like, they're telling me what to do, but I didn't get no attitude back with them, as opposed to like Brie Larson. And it's like, that type of feminism, they all want men to tell them what to do. So-called Val from TNA, she is the exact same way. Then you have the Tomb Raider reboot, where it's like, there was a scene in there where the character is supposed to like grieve over her like father and stuff. And it should have been a very touching scene. It should have been a very emotional scene. And they should have showed a couple of tears to like help do that, or some kind of agony in her face. No, instead she just has her regular stone cold look on her face. Because for some reason, people assume that if you're supposed to be a strong woman, you're not supposed to show no type of weakness, no type of crying, no nothing like that. And by her not showing no emotion, that really robbed that scene of its significance and stuff. It made her seem cold and hateful towards her father and everything, by her not showing any type of emotion. I mean, if people said that, look, you can watch the Bambi movie and cry, and that's okay, then it should be okay for like a female character to cry in a movie. Take Leah Michelle. I've already talked about her, about how she put up a black picture for the Black Lives Matter thing, but people quickly reminded her, hey, You treated black people like crap when you worked with them on the show. But then it turned out it was more than just black people. It was just everybody and stuff. But she tried to like chime in on the new craze of the whole Black Lives Movement thing and jump on that bandwagon. But it backfired on her. Same with Candace Michelle. Candace Michelle once said a long time ago that black people needs to get over slavery. And so she did the whole Black Lives Matter picture thing too. Backlash happened. It was so swift and fast, just like Leah Michelle. And because people like, hey, remember when you said black folks need to get over slavery and all this crap? And and Candace Michelle is a former WWE wrestler and stuff. And so what did she do? She called up her one black friend and they got on a video chat thing together and talking about how I'm not racist and everybody's jumping down my throat and you can tell them I'm not racist because we're friends and you're black. And the dudes are like, yeah, I know she's not racist and stuff like that. And so like, and it's just like, but a lot of people think he might be too, but that's how just people feel and stuff. But it's like this, you can't go around saying black folks need to get over slavery and then post like a Black Lives Matter picture that just contradicts one another. And then she claimed black people are mad at her because of some Karen crap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was it? They blame her for slavery or other than that. And it's just like, lady, shut up. Continue getting your plastic surgery. Continue living with your husband. Continue talking to your former WWE fans and blah, 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 stuff like that. But, you made your point clear when you said black folks need to get over slavery. And so you can't be posting no pictures and no stinking Black Lives Matter because that contradicts what you say. We all know how people like that are. And, the same thing goes for like Raven Simone. I hate Raven Simone. I think she is one of the biggest idiots in the world. And it all started when she got on The View and gave her viewpoints. Granted, I don't like Meghan McCain either, but I don't like myself nor Raven Simone. And the thing about Raven Simone is like, it all started with that whole thing, how she won't hire a black person with an African sounding name because they're going to automatically be ghetto and this and that. And the problem people have with her is like, well, they have now a new reason to be mad about her because she said the reason, because she's married now to a white lady, and back when they was dating, she broke up with her, and she said the reason for that is because black people kept staring at her. No, that's not why she broke up with her. She broke up with her because she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, or better yet, she's cuckoo for dark white puffs. And I'll get to that a little bit later. She broke up with her because she wanted to break up with her. And it probably had nothing to do with black people. Think about it like this. When people see Raven Simone out and about, what are they going to do? They're going to stare because she's Raven Simone. If she's with a woman, yeah, they're going to stare because they might not know she's a lesbian. And a lot of people are like hypocrites and stuff. And just judgmental. And so, it has nothing to do with the fact that she's white and stuff like that. It's just Raven hating on the black community and stuff. And Raven does hate on the black community because Raven Simone said, do not call her black, do not call her African American, call her dark white. So apparently Raven Simone thinks she's a white girl who's just darker than everybody else. Those were her words, not mine. And so the thing about Raven is like this. Clearly, she has a problem with the black community. So if she has a huge problem, then why don't she just go around and star in all these like white shows and have her be casting those? Oh, wait, that's right. They don't cast her and stuff like that. Raven Simone mainly does black shows. The Cosby Show, That's So Raven. Hanging with Mr. Cooper, remember she was on that. She guest starred on Blackish twice. And I forget all the black movies that she has done. So it's like, clearly black people are good enough for her when she needs to get cast and stuff because the white people don't want to cast her in nothing. But then as soon as she starts smelling herself, then she goes back to hating on black people and stuff. So what she needs to do is stop starring in all these black stuff. But she can't because nobody else will hire her. Because the black people, whether she wants to believe it or not, have her back. With her black behind. Yes, she is black, not dark white. Once again, her words, not mine. She is an idiot. She is just a straight up idiot. And I have no respect for that hypocrite and that two-faced woman and stuff like that. And you know, there are other people who are like hypocritical and two-faced. Folks who just like jump on bandwagons and stuff. Well, what's her? I can't remember her. I think her name is Kristen Ho. She was on Power Rangers Beast Morphers. She played Betty. And, you know, she's posted stuff in the past about all the racism Asian people have been suffering because of the virus that's out. Which is wrong. You should not hate an entire race of people or a country just because a virus is out and it's killing people and it originated from their country. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. And I get why she would post that because, you know, she is Asian. But somebody went digging on her Instagram or Twitter and found that she used racial slurs in the past. Now, this happened before. I'm assuming she was on Power Rangers. Or Power Rangers Beast Morphers, I should say. And I don't know what kind of slur she used, because she won't say. And she won't even say what it begins with. But she said it was back when she was a little bit younger, and she was trying to be funny. Hey, look. People know right from wrong. People aren't that stupid. You are taught stuff from a young age. She knew right from wrong, and she did it anyway because she was trying to be ignorant. Plain and simple as that. And then she put on a long, lengthy statement talking about how she's ashamed of herself because that's not who she is and stuff. But yet she did it, and yet she said it because she was trying to be cute and funny. Now, the only reason why I believe she apologized and came out with this statement is because if nobody found that out, she would have never said it. And she literally said somebody went through her stuff and found that old message of hers. And that is the only reason why she confessed. Maybe that person was gonna blackmail her, maybe they wasn't, I don't know. But then she came out with an apology. Now, I don't know the real reason as to why she used that slur. I don't know if she's a racist person or what. I mean, yeah, you can always be forgiven. You can always redeem yourself. People are redeemable, especially if they truly mean it. But it's kind of like, you know, right from wrong. And she was a hypocrite talking about how people shouldn't be hating on Asian folks when she went and hated on somebody else and using racial slurs and stuff. All because she wanted to have a he cute funny moment. And which, you know, if Nickelodeon would have done their homework on her, they probably would have found that, but they didn't. Or they probably just ignored it and stuff. Take Frankie Grande from Big Brother. I can't remember which season he was on. It might be 19, might not be. He's the dude with the pink hair. He's gay. He's the brother of Ariana Grande. He lives in her shadow. He wants to be famous. You know, that dude. What's so bad about him is that there was this woman, he was always hanging around Big Brother. He was cuddling with her. That they would literally be laying with each other, cuddling and everything. Now, he's not into her because he's gay. But he'll be cuddling with her like they're friends. As soon as that woman got up and left, he talked trash about her. He literally said he wishes she would die. I kid you not. And it's like, dude, just like a couple of seconds ago, you was hugging and like cuddling with her, and now you wish her dead. Don't know why he wishes her dead, but he does. And that was just like two-faced of him. Then there's him hating on lesbian women. Now, you've heard it before, the good old saying, nobody becomes gay, they're born that way. He feels that same way too, but only for gay men. He does not feel that same way for lesbians. This, of course, him being gay and part of the LGBT community, people are like, whoa, why you hating on lesbians? And so people started giving him backlash for it. And then when he was on the talk, he had to talk to like Sarah Gilbert, who is a lesbian, and explain himself. And of course, the wannabe celebrity did the whole celebrity apology thing where he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean it that way. I overspoke and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And put me in your music videos, put me on your reality shows, put me on your TV shows, put me in your movies so I can outdo my sister. And it's just like, seriously, he only apologized because he doesn't want to like suffer the backlash. But yet he said what he said and he feels the way he does. And I doubt he's going to have an epiphany within a few seconds and everything. And it's just like he's a hypocrite. He is two-faced, just like all these other people, who just like judges people for the sake of like judging, all because he has a personal problem with them and stuff. And I don't understand how the dude is gay and says that lesbians become lesbians, but they're not born lesbians, but only gay men are born gay. That makes absolutely no sense. He's literally like ashamed of his own community. He's just as bad as Raven Simone. Like, my God, there is a reason why people hate this man. I mean, they straight up hate this dude, but because he's on TV and who he's related to, they like forgive him and like all this other crap. I can go on and on about other people. Nick Cannon, Ice Cube, Lil Wayne, Kanye West. I can just go on and on and on and on. But my mouth is tired. So I'll end it with this. Oh, and what's worse is that Frankie went on Big Brother. He joked about raping one of his female house guests. Like, seriously, this dude is terrible. He thinks he's little Mr. Famous all because of who his sister is. And he just thinks he can say and do whatever he wants. And he can get away with it because of who and what he is. I watched So-Called Vows, like podcasting, the grown women thing, whatever it's called. And, she's the type of woman who gets like injections and stuff like that. I don't understand why, because she's so young. And personally, I don't think there's nothing wrong with her for her to do that. So I don't understand why she does it. Oh, but you can't tell her that, because she said on her thing, she hates it when men tell her, oh, you look good and you shouldn't have to like get like plastic surgery or injections and this and that. And then she went on this huge rant about how she's a grown woman and nobody tells her what to do, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's not somebody telling you what to do. It's more like a suggestion. It's that like when people tell folks, look, you look lovely. You don't have to degrade yourself. You don't have to dress like a slut. You don't have to wear gobs of makeup. You don't have to have all this plastic surgery. You don't have to do all these fillers because you are naturally beautiful and you should accept yourself for who you are. Like, that's positivity talking right there. That's body positivity. But then certain women like her, they take it in such a negative way as a man standing over them and dictating to them and stuff. And that is not a strong woman. That is not a feminist or nothing like that. That's just an angry woman who's raging out because she's been told what to do all the time by men. And what's worse is like when you see people literally trying to pick fights online, like purposely and stuff. Like, you have it with the fandom menace. They make it the videos and they piss people off. So they look for somebody to fight with. And then, it even comes to females. Like, there are like celebrity females that literally go online. They say something all smart mouth like, looking for a fight. Like, I remember this one actress, and she asked a bunch of people on her list, do you think Billie Eilish, Eyelash, or whatever her name is male or female? And then she said something afterward. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was something to egg people on, like she was ready to like start like a fight and everything. And I remember one time there's this one girl, she's part of like the fandom menace, and she literally said she doesn't like it when people bully other people, but then yet she hops on YouTube and she bullies like everybody and stuff. And it's just like people are just like so weird, man. It's just like they just want to fight people for the sake of just fighting it. Like just like that J.K. Rowling lady when she rails on like transgender women and all this other crap, you know. And it's just like I don't get people like that. And so not to go on like a tangent about stuff like that, but it's like, yeah, the woman who criticized him about like how he's not allowed to critique this and that, he's a straight man. I bet you anything, I bet you anything, she has a critique for everything else. And you know, and of course she thinks it's okay for her because she's a woman and stuff. And I don't like feminists that are like that. To me, that's fake feminism. They're not a real feminist. They're just a hater who just wants to hate on people because they've been dumped on in their life. I feel sorry they've been dumped on in their life, but that's no reason to hate people. You know, it's like I don't like what white people have done to black people in the past or present day, but I don't go around hating white people for it. I just hate their behavior. Same thing with black people. I'm black. Black folks are not innocent. We're not. Okay, if you're black and you think the entire black race is innocent, just look at any rapper who's been arrested for like drugs, weapon charges, domestic abuse. The list goes on and on and on, and other celebrities too. All right, we're just as bad as everybody else because nobody is perfect. And it's like I just can't stand people who just jump on bandwagons, but they're so hypocritical and they're so two-faced. Like they literally they need to just sit down in a chair, flip a coin, and let it be a 50-50 odds, that kind of two-faced. That's basically just what they are, you know? And the worst thing is they're teaching people to be bad like that. They're teaching people to be like them. And it's just so wrong. It's just so wrong. And people don't deserve to be hated on like that for no apparent reason. Than for that person to get their jollies up, you know? Alrighty. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.